Yo, what's going on? So we're gonna have the daily review. Hey, this is gonna be a good one. So the last two Mondays have been great with no news. Okay, so are we likely to get a third with bad PA? Probably. We're probably not gonna get 3 Mondays in a row with good PA with no news. So I don't care if you demo or train a live account on a day like today. I do what I do. I'm usually fine. If you're newer, you're gonna have to experiment. You're gonna have to train a live account these days. You're gonna have to take the L's in these days and realize, okay, I shouldn't have traded. Because if you don't, you're not gonna know what days you should be trading, what days you should not be trading. Hey, mine might be different than yours. I'm here to teach you models and the times that I like to trade. Yeah, but you're gonna have to figure out times you have to trade or want to trade or think trading's gonna be better on your own. All right. Now, this long was the long I was trying to try this morning. Okay, this inverse of this BPR, and I was gonna try to bring it up to the hourly BPR. If you look to the left, we had a really key hourly BPR. Look at right here. All right, right above this high was the hourly BPR. Okay, so that was a key level for this morning. Now, I was gonna try to long up there, but what was wrong with this long right here? Okay, it hit the internal high right here before getting your entry and before the candle close. So was this ever able to play? No. Okay. That would have been my only play this morning. Why? Because I saw price action was good. I didn't know how long it was going to be good. I want to capitalize that on here, but it never gave us the entry. Now, we played price a little bit. I did mention how you could have taken this because we barely displaced above this buy side, and you could have at least taken this and then moved your stop to break even when we hit this. I always say don't take the fair value up in the same leg, but if you ever see buy side hit like this inside an hourly BPR, that first fair value gap we get, if there's fair value gaps below, not right next to each other, you can try shorting this one and at least take them to the fair value gaps below. And maybe you don't cover there, but maybe you try to put your stop to break even there to make it a free trade. Okay. I was gonna say, so the other setup that I don't regret not taking this, but there's a 2-minute inverse here to the London low, or yeah, it's the London low here. And the only reason I didn't take this was because there's an SMT. You can see at the same time, you can see that there was an SMT. Just scroll over a little bit here, but you can see how ES had already hit the low. See, look at this right here. See this? Okay, you can see that ES already hit the low here. Okay. So I didn't want to risk NQ not hitting the low there. Okay, you can see NQ wasn't even close to the low there. I didn't want to risk this SMT playing out or not, so that's why I didn't take that 2-minute inverse. Was it a good one in hindsight? Yeah, it was. But is it against my rules to take because there was a potential SMT? Basically. So I didn't slap that either. I wish I did. It was also a 2-minute BPR, so is what it is. I'm going to follow my rules. Now, the play I did end up taking was I actually took 3 plays. So for everyone who did leave, I ended up taking 2 more, and they were wins. So I did finish green for the day. The plays I ended up taking was this. Okay, I ended up taking the long right here. Okay, I saw this was tested as resistance. I know he did not hit the London low there. Okay, but I didn't think the market was going to care about it at that point, and I was right. Okay, I was right. The market didn't care about it. The market retraced and went back up here before going down again. But the problem with this model was this. Look at it was closed over in the 1 minute, but whenever it lines up with another one that's in close proximity, for example, the 2-minute right here, you want to see that close over as well. Look what happened. We wicked all the way above it, never closed over it. So we went back down, then back up again. Okay, so that was a loss. And then I said, okay, I'm going to take another long if we close above it again. Now look what happens this time. Now we finally close above in the 2, which means we would have closed above in the 1. So that one, because its highest time frame was there, you can see it wasn't there in the 3-minute. Okay, look at there's not there in the 3-minute. Because it closed over in the highest time frame 1, okay, I said I was taking again, and I said, okay, I'm taking it to here and then here. So I got all out here. I said you could hold till London high or until the high if you wanted to, but I wasn't, and it never hit. And I said if you were, then put your trailing stop here. Okay, why would this be a good trailing stop? Because if the bias is truly bullish, shouldn't this hold? Yes, it should. Okay, this should hold. This is just a class of 2022 model if the bias is bullish. So that should be your trailing stop, and you can see it ended up hitting anyway. So that was the other play alerted as a win, and then the last play alerted as a win was this. I saw us chopping around here. We were in between this 2-minute fair value gap here, okay, and I saw it was being used as support, meaning the market was respecting it, and I saw this 2-minute BPR here. So I basically said, if one gets closed over, one gets closed under, I'm going to take whichever one happens first. Now, did this candle ever close over this? No, it did not. This one was the first one. I scalped it to the equal lows, took 3 minis, and I literally just scalped it for like 8 points, okay, which is fine. But that was the play. Now, what I said was, I bet you if this one breaks, we'll go right to London low. Why did I not hold to London low? Because of the conditions. Why would I want to hold for a home run trade during these conditions? These are scalping conditions. I'm not going to try to do that. So I literally just sold here. You could see if I tried holding, I would have gone south of break even. Okay. Now we did get another inverse. This was a really clean inverse. This was the inverse where this was probably the best play all day. Okay. Momentum was clearly down in this direction toward London low. Okay. So we knew the bias at that point was definitely bearish. Okay. Why? Well, we weren't breaking this low resistance liquidity. We weren't trying to take any of these highs out. We were respecting all the bearish fair value gaps. We violated this, and we have a London low where we almost hit but didn't. And usually when that happens, we end up going back later. So this one is just, this was probably the most textbook play all day because we knew the bias at this point was London low. And this was a clean inverse. So it was the only fair value gap of this leg. I mean, you have a tiny one there, but it's the last fair value gap of this leg. So you shouldn't be seeing this traded above, and then we hit London low. Now, the other thing I would say is this right here. So if you look closely at this, there's a fair value gap here. Why didn't this work as an inverse? Well, there's one down here as well. Does the body respect this? Yes, it does. So in hindsight, this does work. But there's 2 fair value gaps in the leg, and you can't put your stop loss under this one because what if we hit this one and then go up? So you can see this does work. However, look at the 5 here. Look how messy this was. There was a single inverse on the 5. Well, not really, because there's one up here. So although this wasn't valid, this still looked like this should have worked to me, especially because it made a new BPR here. And it totally slopped out. And you can see if you put your stop loss below low, it still would have worked. But just look how sloppy this is, man. This is just so, you do not want to be trading this, okay? And that's where you're going to have to decide whether you want to trade a demo or a real account, because most of you guys are going to trade it how I taught it. Stop a close below. Now, is that the stop loss? Is that the proper stop loss? No, there is no proper stop loss. You can have a stop loss below low, which is worse risk reward, or you can have an aggressive for better risk reward as a stop loss below here. All right, so this really showed the sloppiness in price, unfortunately. Nothing you can really do about that. But again, that's going to be something you're going to experience on a Monday with no news. Now, because the last 2 Mondays have been great with no news, that doesn't mean this is going to be great. It means that the chances of this being great is probably not likely. Okay. And then that was really it for me. I took a bunch of 30-second setups today, so that was cool. A lot of them didn't work out, but yeah, so let me know if you guys have any questions. Definitely a tricky day. Not anything to be ashamed of if you're red. I can see people being red off of this, although this technically, there was multiple fair value gaps in this leg. So you can see, like at this point, look, you can see this wick hit here, and we delivered off this. So that's probably why this is sloppy. If this wasn't here, if this fair value gap wasn't here, this probably would have played out way cleaner. So that's something you have to be aware of. So you could have been prevented, but half of you probably wouldn't have taken that anyways because you're impatient and you see inverse and it's like, oh, this looks good. And I agree, it did look good, but it was sloppy. So that was it today. I'm still bullish into tomorrow probably. I mean, as long as we hold like this 4-hour fair value gap, I still kind of want like this high up here. So then this high up here. So we'll see. But again, tricky day. You can see we're forming very clean low resistance liquidity here. So we're going to break that at some point. If we do dump overnight, that would actually be perfect, because if I wake up and we're inside of this fair value gap here, that would actually be amazing. I'd be looking for long, and I'd go probably pretty heavy, and I'd probably hold it for a while. So We'll see if we get there or not. I mean, it looks like this low resistance Cody's probably going to break sooner, but time will tell. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know if you have any questions. And other than that, peace out.